Good morning. My name is Don Hadley. I'm president of Applied Vision Works, and I was talking to a guy this morning that talked about having a tiger by the tail. So the artwork's not that great, but hey, makes it a little bit fun. He kept saying, hopefully, I will try. I've got a tiger by the tail. And the question I asked him, I said, you get a tiger by the tail, tell me about it. And the thing he got me remembering is back about 35 years ago when I started my business, I remember feeling like I had a tiger by the tail. I wasn't sure I could survive it. It was just wild and it was crazy. There's a lot I didn't know. And I felt like I was being whipped back and forth by the tiger. And what I realized after a couple years, if I didn't get control of that tiger, I was in a heck of a lot of problems. I don't know what would have happened, whether I would have quit the business, become alcoholic, committed suicide, survived in business, but just hurt a lot of people. But it would not have been good unless I got some control of the tiger. So two things that we talked about. One is quit using the words hopefully and try. Just say I'm going to get a hold of the tiger. And to me, what he has to do is keep working his way up the tiger's tail. And if he can work up the tiger's tail, maybe he can get a hold of those hind legs. And if he can get a hold of those hind legs, maybe he can begin to get a hold of the midsection. And eventually he can get up to get a hold of the head of the tiger and wrestle it to the ground and win. I was reading recently the book Alamo, and it talked about David Bowie. David Bowie apparently was known for wrestling alligators, and he had actually a strategy for it. And so I've never thought I would want to wrestle an alligator, but if I ever did, I now have a strategy, would have some confidence if I can do certain things or work towards certain things, I'd get the tiger by the tail. So if you feel like you've got a tiger by the tail, or your team does, they need to look at it differently. It's not a static problem. It's not a set, this is the way it is. Right now, it might be a tiger by the tail, but if over the next 3 months, we can begin to get a hold of the hind quarters, maybe by 1 year, we can get a hold of the midsection, it may be 3 years before we can get a hold of the tiger's head and wrestle it to the ground and have control of it and strangle it to death. But this may be what we've got to do. Don't just keep reinforcing this is hard, this is difficult. Make a plan of action. Inspire your people to set out some steps to get this tiger, not just by the tail, but to get where you're controlling the beast. Many times I talk about businesses as the beast. How do we handle the beast? How do we control the beast? It is a beast. But if we can get a harness around it, if we can put a saddle on it, maybe what we can do is actually ride the tiger and more quickly roar around the jungle or wherever we're at and make things happen. So I want to share with you this because it's a mindset. It's a way of looking at the world as how do we improve and get better. And it's kind of fun using a tiger as an analogy. So whatever analogy you want to use, but get hopefully and try out of your vocabulary. How can you make it happen, get control of the beast, and make things happen? And if you do it right, you can actually get the beast working to your advantage. So thank you for your time. If you're interested in talking about this, my email is dhadley@appliedvisionworks.com. Cell phone is 919-368-9008. Thank you very much.